Hey everybody, let's go on and do this. Grateful, grateful, gratefulness. Grateful, grateful, gratefulness. I am grateful to be here today. I am grateful to be here with you guys today. I thank God Almighty from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet for giving me life and breath. I do, and I hope you do the same thing. And I'm also grateful and thankful to have you guys join me today. Hey, today's a good day here with Cooking with Lady D. Today we are going to be making honey glazed coconut shrimp. That is going to be out of sight. So we're going to get started. But before I do that, let me invite you to please check me out on YouTube. You can go there by going to Google. Then you're going to type in Cooking with Lady D. Please follow me and subscribe. And of course, I'm on Instagram and on Facebook. Y'all ready to roll? Woo! It's going to be good today. All right. Like always, I always start by sharing the ingredients. Sharing the ingredients that I'm going to be using. For starters, what I have here, I have cream of coconut. About 1 cup of cream of coconut. And this is what I use. And, it's not the brand name, but it's just cream of coconut that's in the can. So I use that. Then we have sweetened coconut. It comes shredded. It's shredded coconut in a bag. This is a 7-ounce bag of shredded coconut. So we're going to use that. So I have about a cup of the shredded coconut. I have a quarter stick of butter. About a teaspoon of black pepper. I have coconut extract, about a tablespoon of coconut extract. I'm using Old Bay, of course. Y'all know how we do with our Old Bay when we cooking seafood. So I have Old Bay. I have, let's see here, just a little bit of garlic powder. And I have some browning. The browning that I use, here it is. But I have like maybe 2 drops of browning because this browning is really, really strong. Aside from the browning, I do have scallions here. I have about a 1/2 cup of honey, and I have a 1/2 cup of coconut again. So those are the ingredients that we're going to be putting into the shrimp. The shrimp that I have, I bought extra large shrimp actually. The extra large shrimp, they're opened up in like a butterfly shape. So I bought them from Sam's. And even though your shrimp will say that it's already been deveined, I still take out the other side because there are 2 veins on the shrimp, one on the back and one on the front. Normally when they say it's deveined, they take out the back vein. So I took out the vein totally. So now from this point, I'm going to go ahead on and add the coconut cream. Going to stir that in there. So we're going to add, so I added the coconut cream into the shrimp. This coconut cream is pretty thick. It's pretty thick. So that means it's going to hold very well. However, we're still going to need to let it marinate for about at least an hour in the refrigerator. Okay? At least 1 hour. So we're going to go ahead and sit this in the refrigerator to allow this to marinate for about an hour. And we're going to be right back. All right? All righty. We're back. The shrimp has marinated for about an hour. And what I did, I drained most of the cream of coconut off of the shrimp. All right? So now we're going to start to add our seasoning. And what I do here, I already have about a 1/4 cup of EVOO is in our skillet. Y'all know I love this skillet. I told y'all before I got this from Ross. I love this skillet. So I'm going to go ahead and let that warm up. And then I'm going to take the 1/4 stick of butter, drop that in there as well. Okay, so now while the butter is melting, we're going to go ahead on and start to add our seasonings. I'm going to put in the black pepper. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to put in a little bit of garlic that we have. I didn't put a lot of garlic because we don't want to lose the flavor of the coconut. So certain seasonings will overpower what your initial ingredient is, and we don't want that. So next here, the Old Bay seasoning. Put that on in there. And what I'm doing, I'm just stirring it around, mixing it around. Boy, does this look good. It really looks good. Now I'm going to take our coconut extract. I'm going to put that over there. Put that on top. Now there's the smell of the coconut fully. I didn't detect the smell from the cream of coconut. But you guys know when you put that extract on, whatever extract it is, you're going to smell it. And now I just added the scallions. I love me some onions, honey. All right, so I'm just mixing that in, and we're waiting for our pot to get warm or hot so we can put the shrimp in. Now, the reason I added the seasoning after the marinade is because I drained off a lot of the cream of coconut. So had I added the seasoning at the same time, a lot of the seasoning would be gone now, right? Because then I would drain it off and be down the drain. All right, now see, I don't know about y'all, but I didn't grow up eating shrimp. Let's go ahead. Let's see. Let's see how this is warming up. I think I have it on number 3. Number 3. Okay, yeah. I didn't grow up eating shrimp. Okay, we didn't have shrimp in my household. In my household, our basic meats would be our meats would be chicken, of course, chicken, fish, all kinds of fish, and beef. Okay, and beef. Those were the ingredients, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that my parents didn't grow up wealthy. They grew up pretty poor. Okay, they came from South Carolina, and they didn't grow up in wealth. My dad used to tell us the story of how he used to walk to school several miles with holes in his shoes, or holes in his sneakers, actually. And he would take cardboard to put in the bottom of his sneaker so that his foot wouldn't touch the ground. And he would have his overalls on or whatever. And of course, this was in the 1920s and 30s because my dad was born in 1922. So that was many years ago. And once he became an adult, do you know my dad never bought another pair of sneakers? I have never seen him in sneakers. He has never worn jeans because he said he was determined. He always made mention when he become an adult, he'll never wear sneakers and he'll never wear jeans because it brought up so many bad memories. All right, let's see here. It's getting a little hot. I hear it sizzling. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to go ahead on and start to put the shrimp in. Okay, I need to get my tongs. All right, so let's start laying our shrimp in the pan. Let's lay it in nicely and delicately because this dish is a delicacy for many. There we go. I'm putting it in the pan, and I have 9 pieces here. So when you calculate your ingredients and how much you should be using, do it in accordance to how many shrimp you cook with. All right, so I'm just going to take the rest of the mixture and pour it over this shrimp, and we're going to let this baby roll for a bit. We're going to let it just go ahead and make its way. Let me let you guys see what it looks like in the pot. I think you can see what it looks like in the pot. All right. So this is going to take a few minutes. And as I was saying, I didn't grow up eating shrimp. So when did the shrimp happen? I would say I was an adult. I was an adult, and once you become an adult and you start working, and actually, I think my first pieces of shrimp came from the Chinese restaurant, shrimp fried rice. That was like a biggie. You go and get, oh, I'm gonna get me some shrimp fried rice. And from that point on, I started enjoying shrimp. I started enjoying shrimp so much until when I was pregnant with my third child, my last child. I told my husband, I said, listen, honey, when you get off work, I want to go to Red Lobster. Y'all know Red Lobster always had that all you can eat. So they had the all you can eat thing going on. Okay. So I wanted some shrimp. So he got home from work and we went on over to Red Lobster's in Green Acres Mall. That's in Nassau County or whatever, Long Island, New York. We went on over there. It was about 8 o'clock at night. Honey, them shrimp was so good. And I was 9 months pregnant. I was eating them shrimp. Them suckers was good. I was eating them shrimp, baby. And about 2 hours later, Charles said, come on now, babe. We got to go. I got to go to work in the morning. It's getting late. I said, okay, let me get one more order. So I had to bring out another order. Now, see, back then, because this was a little over 30 years ago, when they had the all you can eat, they didn't come out with just an extra 5 little shrimp on a plate, at a time. They would come out with a full plate of shrimp. So finally I ate and I got stuffed. So now it's about 10 o'clock at night. So he said, come on, let's go. So I'm sitting down and I couldn't get up. I couldn't feel my legs. So I said, I can't feel my legs. He said, you better stop playing. Because, I was big then too, honey. Woo, big out there. So he said, you better stop playing. What I'm doing right now, I'm just turning the shrimp. It's been on for about 2 minutes or so. I'm just turning them over. I said, I am serious. I don't feel my legs. So I didn't know what was going on. The only thing we knew is that I needed to get to that hospital. So So he had to call my brother, Tyrone, who didn't live that far. And he called him. And back then we ain't had no cell phone. So I guess he used the phone at the front desk or whatever. Next thing I know, here come Tyrone. Okay, it's like 10 o'clock at night. He probably thinking that she dragging me out of bed. What's going on? Honey, why they didn't have to lift me up and carry me through the restaurant out of there to the hospital? They had to carry me out. So as they're carrying me out, this man looked at me and he said, that gotta be a girl because a boy wouldn't do you like that. See, back then we didn't know the sex of our children, not until they were born. Well, I got to the hospital and sure enough, she had dropped and she was sitting on the vessels that distributed the blood to my legs. So it had cut off. So anyway, that's my shrimp event. So I always had a love for shrimp. And my daughter, she loves shrimp now. And shrimp is a good thing. All righty. Shrimp doesn't take long to cook at all. It's almost ready. What we do is we're waiting for it to get that pinkness. That's an indication that it's ready. There we go. Okay, another 2 minutes. So yeah, like I was saying, my folks didn't grow up having a lot, but what they did, like many other black folks did, they left South Carolina in the 50s, came on to New York City, and my dad got educated. He ended up working for Grumman Aerospace. Okay, that's an aeronautics company. And the focus was actually getting real estate, buying a home. So he bought the first home in Brooklyn, 348 Decatur Street, Bed-Stuy, do or die. He bought the first home in Brooklyn. And after a while, he bought another home in Queens. And that's where I basically grew up in Laurelton. My mom was a stay-at-home mother, stay-at-home wife. And that was very common back in the 50s and 60s. Not so much today, but it was very common back then. And stay at home and kind of submissive. Well, I guess so. Women were a bit submissive back then because the man was the breadwinner. So much of what went on was based on the decision that was made by the husband. I'm going to turn this up a little higher because we're about done. We are about done here. Yeah. And my dad was very frugal with his monies. I mean, very, very careful. Very careful. He wasn't wasting any money. He made sure we had a roof over our head. There was a car in that driveway. There was food on the table. I never had to live to ever remember our lights or water, any of that stuff getting cut off. But what I do remember is this. I was 14 years old. And I wanted some shoes from Fred Barnes. You ever heard of Fred Barnes? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Give me a moment. I got to grab another bowl. I'm taking these shrimp out. They are ready. So I wanted these shoes called Fred Barnes. My father wasn't fitting to pay $43.99 for no shoes back then. He said to me, you better make do with Tom McCann. You got $16.99. That's what you better end up that's the kind of shoe that you better find and choose. The shoe that's gonna cost $16.99. That's the shoe you're gonna get. He said, that's the shoe you're gonna get. The one that costs $16.99. Let me tell you something. I didn't want those shoes. I want the shoes that cost $43.99. So I knew right then I had to get a job. I had to get a job. So that's when the summer jobs kicked in and I started working. I think I've been working ever since. Guess what? We're ready. We're ready. You ready? She ready. It's done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you to stay with me for a moment because you know I want to plate it up, make it look pretty, and then we're going to take a look at it, okay? All right, everybody. Now that we know she ready, we got to finish up with the final toppings. I took that cup of coconut and I put it in the same pot that the shrimp was in. And I'm just stirring it around in some of that juice that the shrimp was also in. Now I'm going to take the shrimp and put it back in the pot. It's not going to cook. It's already cooked. This is really just for topping it. We're just topping the shrimp. We're just topping the shrimp off. We're just topping it off with the coconut. And we're going to just get ready to do the honey as well. Boy, that looks so good. All right. So now we have browning. I think I told you just about 2 drops. You don't want to use a lot of this. A few little drops. Put that over there. The next thing we have the honey. I'm going to put maybe a 1/4 cup of this coconut in the honey. I'm going to stir it around. I can hear this shrimp dish sizzling. I'm going to turn it off because it's already cooked. I just wanted a little heat on it. Alrighty. So now I'm going to take our brush and we're going to brush some of this honey and coconut on top of the shrimp. Woo! Talk about a good dish. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. A shrimp lover's masterpiece is what we're going to have here. Now, you can eat this different ways. You can eat it alone. Give me one moment. I spilled a little something. You guys know how I am about keeping my kitchen clean. All right, so it's ready. This time it is ready to be plated. For show, for show. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take a couple of pieces and put it on top of grits. Then I'll take a few more pieces and put it alongside a baked potato. I tell you, this is too good. And then I'm going to take the remainder of it, put it in a regular bowl. In the event That's just how you want to eat it. Just regular in a regular bowl. Take some of this good juice out of here. A little bit more of that honey. Dabble it across the top of the shrimp. When I tell you that this is a delicate meal that's fit for a king and queen, you need to believe me. Hold on a moment. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you all the finishing touch, what it looks like. Yeah, that's me. Always trying to clean up my station, keeping things clean. Can't stand a messy, dirty kitchen. All right, we're done. And let me show you what our honey glazed coconut shrimp looks like. This is what it looks like if you're going to have it over shrimp. This is what it will look like if you're going to have it perhaps with a baked potato. And finally, this is what it looks like if you're just going to eat it all by itself. If you're just going to take a bite out of it all by itself. And that's what we fitting to do. Yes. We're about to take a bite out of it. We get a paper towel. I'm so grateful. Yes, I am. And we're going to take a bite out of this here. I'm already laughing because I plan, I hope the thing don't go dripping down my face. Oh, gosh, it looks so good. All right, here go. Mmm. 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 This is not just a shrimp. It's not just scrimp. It ain't just scrimp. It is shrimp. Honey glazed coconut shrimp. Mmm. You can eat this as an appetizer. I'm going to eat with my fingers. You know I'm going to do that. I ain't trying to be cute. So, you just dip it in. Bring it on up. See how tender that was? Mmm. 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 You know when something is good, you want to suck it. Mmm. All the juice. Mmm. That was good. That was real good. You guys, thank you for joining me today. Continue to be grateful at all times and for all things because the God I serve is a good God. I love you guys. Enjoy this meal. Thank you all for coming into my home and allowing me to share with you these recipes. Please share. And I'll see you out there. Love you guys. I'm going to eat some more.